live once again to the power of the internet. Here we are. I have a swinging chair. That's what we do around here. Live, on time, only 15 minutes late. I feel weird having a chair like this now. That's throwing me off a little bit. A swinging chair. Everything is happening all at once. This is from, we set up our office area outside. Needless to say, that won't be for me for streaming. I'll be in my bedroom streaming as always. But I thought, screw it, I'll steal the swinging chair. Hey everybody, how you going? Early live stream today, early. So I'm not sure if as many people will be in the chat. It'll be a shame if they aren't, but you know, it's an early live stream. I am celebrating tonight. I have some fantastic news. I'm not sure if I should get into it straight away. I might lead into it a little bit, but that's why the live stream's earlier tonight. Also, it's a public holiday. It is Anzac Day as well in Australia, so we've had the day off. Just thought I'd do the live stream a little bit earlier because I am, as I said, celebrating tonight. It's a little too early for the beers, so I'm cracking my. I am a soda water simp, as you would all know. Soda water gets such a bad rap, all right, and it's not deserved. I do love me some soda water. It's like my absolute fave. I buy these from Aldi, 12 bottles for $7. Come on, bargain. Got a slinky as well. This is going to be a very unhinged episode of the live stream. We are talking about The Well, written by Russell T Davies, and it's co-written as well. I should have accounted for that. I should know who's co-writing it. But it's a co-written episode. I saw the other day, I don't know if this is true, but I know someone made a joke and they're like, oh, it's after this, it's 5 weeks of non-RTD Who, like writing-wise. But I'm pretty sure I saw the Interstellar Song Contest has a Russell T Davies writing credit. So I don't know if he's co-written that with Juno. Who knows? Jeremy, it's a public holiday over here as well. Yes. Oh, is it public holiday over there as well? Yeah, probably in New Zealand. I'm pretty sure. Anzac's New Zealand as well, so it probably is. Lest we forget, of course. We are just so lucky to be here right now and be able to do our thing, you know. Co-written by Sharma Angel Wolfall, I think. Yeah, who hasn't got many writing credits, which is, by the way, totes cool with me. I don't really care about that kind of thing, as long as they can write a great episode. I mean, how do you think you get started in this business? Word on the street is, I'm sure this isn't really a spoiler anymore, but here's the thing, it's like, I'm going to say it's 90% going to be a midnight sequel, but I feel like if I say that, this can get clipped out of context a little later on and be like, oh, we just spoke about it being a... Could you imagine if Russell did that to us all week? Like, we just spoke about it being a midnight sequel and it was just not that. Although I'm pretty sure it is a sequel to that. Hence, RTD2’s biggest risk yet. I think this is the craziest thing he's certainly done since he's come back. It's one of his most beloved stories. Some people's favorite episode is Midnight. It is. I did just rewatch it the other night. I watched it with my parents of all people. That was not planned, by the way. I watched Locks and Midnight with my parents. We were celebrating. So, and I'll tell you why we're celebrating in 1 second. But yeah, we watched Locks, and my dad was kind of falling in and out of sleep, which is classic when we're watching Doctor Who. He loves a good snooze. It's like the second the TV comes on, it's snooze time for my father. So yeah, but he liked Locks. He liked Locks, and my mum liked Locks as well. Like 10-15 minutes into Locks, my mum said, "This is so much better than that baby one." So she's of course referring to Space Babies, which we all love. Actually, it seems like only Aiden and I on the internet. I wouldn't say I love Space Babies. I'd say I tolerate Space Babies. I enjoy it more than Robot Revolution, which is making people on TikTok lose their minds on our official TikTok, which I don't run TikTok, okay? I'm 26 years old. I already have a bit of an addiction, I think, to social media. I don't need another one. And from what I hear, it is, Science of Audio. Hey, how you going, guys? Good to see you. Hope you're well too. I can't go on TikTok. I just, it would melt my brain. But I do occasionally just pop on there to see what Aiden's been posting. And people have been losing their minds that we've been putting Space Babies as a regarded episode of RTD2. People are just losing their minds over it. But yeah, my mum enjoyed it. I think it's definitely a step in the right direction with Lux. I've been seeing people's reviews as well. I was watching the Mad Men with a Box podcast yesterday. Chrissy isn't in the chat right now, but he's normally in the chat every week. And yeah, it seems like the thing with RTD2, I've noticed this. Doctor Who's always been divisive, obviously. This is an argument as old as time itself. But I think a thing I've been noticing with RTD2, apart from say maybe like Wild Beyonder, their episodes are very divisive. Like, for example, I think 73 Yards is a classic in my opinion, and it's definitely one of my, we need to do my top 10 episodes list. That's what Aiden said on the podcast the other day. We need to do that. But I would definitely say 73 Yards is in my top 10. But people loathe that episode. People hate it. And it's just so funny to me. Like, there aren't really a lot of episodes before us, I think, that, you know, need to drive back home to have you on in the background. No worries, Jeremy. Please. I just drive safely. I'll guide you home. I just think there's just so much divisive energy right now in the community, because I have the same with Lux, where, look, I might be tripping a little bit calling Lux a classic. I don't know if I'm ready to call it that yet, but you know, it's on that is on the tip of my tongue. I am kind of getting ready to call Lux a classic in my eyes. But people also really don't like that episode, so it just feels. And I think we'll have the exact same thing with tomorrow with The Well. I hope not. I don't want the community to be divisive, obviously. But it just seems it at the moment. Wild Beyonder we seem to all agree on. And then from there onwards, you know, people love Devil's Court, and I can't bring myself to really. Look, I will rewatch Devil's Court. Do you know what I need to do, actually? Believe me, these live streams are my therapy sessions. So thank you, first of all, everyone, for tuning in. Hi, Delilah, how you going? Much love from Perth. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. I'm so bad at this live stream thing. What was I saying? The Well, something. This is what happens when I get distracted. I was thinking today, it's like, dude, I have a bad rap of being just there's just one of me on here. You know, when I forget something, I can't just go, Aiden, you talk for a couple of seconds while I get my train back on thought. I was saying something about The Well. I was saying something. It was probably important, but I've forgotten. Oh well. Life moves on, and we shall recover. Yeah, tomorrow's episode will probably be divisive as well, but I don't want it to be. I hope it just gets well received. Do you know what bugs me? There's no the Devil's Court. Oh yeah, that was it. Sorry, goodness me. This is a sober live stream, and I'm acting like I'm bloody high or something. All right. So the Devil's Court, I do need to get onto my. You know, I said to myself last year, I want to do my yearly reviews, like 1 year after they've come out. You know, I did the specials, and I did it for Church and Ruby Road, like the 1 year later perspective videos. And I do want to do it for all of Series 1. Now, I thought we were going to be moving into the new house that we're in now a lot quicker than we did. So I thought I would have time to like record in advance and edit in advance. But I just haven't, and I haven't filmed my Space Babies episode yet, or Devil's Court. I was hoping at this point in time, what are we now? We're in April, late April. I was hoping, and in May, so they started airing last year in May, and they have to come out the day that the episodes came out, like a year after, on the day. So I have been thinking in the back of my mind, I need to rewatch Space Babies, write some notes, film a video, and then I will also have to drop the Devil's Claw video on the same day. So if you get, because that's when they aired it aired as like a double feature, as you might remember. So I will have to rewatch the Devil's Claw. But that episode to me is just so bland, and I actually kind of hate it. But I know people love it. So things are just so divisive at the moment. I think we can't really agree on much anymore. I mean, I know people really love Robot Revolution too. I didn't really find it that great. It's not an episode I would ever like. Probably, honestly, the next time I watch the Robot Revolution will probably be next year when I do my year on perspective. It's not something that makes me want to like, you know, instantly rewatch it. I've watched Lux like 4 or 5 times now, so you know, it gets me going, Lux. But the Robot Revolution is just so boring. So get ready for that. I might drop the whole like W's and L thing, purely just for a time, just because of time. Like, I mean, I'm gonna have to do 7 videos, 8 videos. You know, 8 videos. Yeah, 8 videos. So that's a lot. 8 looking back videos. I don't know. I just hope people like them. Like, I know they did pretty well last time. They didn't do as good as I thought they would do. And a lot of it just takes a lot of time and effort to make them. But I'm willing to do the whole series one again if people are keen for it. I might get to Boom, and then no one's watching or really cares, so I know I might have to stop. I don't know, and it'll be right at the end of like right at the end, or maybe after series 1 has finished airing, so it'll just be intense. But I do want to kind of keep the momentum of like uploads on the channel and the quality of the content. The good thing is people seem to be really enjoying the stuff we're making at the moment, and it's a really good balance of like I've been really enjoying making it and people are really enjoying watching it, which is all you can really hope for. The problem is obviously when Doctor Who goes off the air and it's off the air, like people care less about shows when they're not airing. But yeah, so I'm happy to do those videos. I think it would be good for me to start creating some content on my own again in my new bedroom. But yeah, we'll see if people fuck with it. I was just a little bit surprised of how I did like viewing figures wise last time. And that's not like the end or of everything that I want to do, but you know, also it's like I could be investing time into like maybe another project or another series that might be doing better and more people enjoy. I don't know. I'm just a man playing with a slinky in his bedroom at 26 years old. So yeah, we'll chat about the well. I know I said I would be going longer than last week, but circumstances change. I'm not sure how long I'll go for, we'll see. But I do have some news. And here is my news. You ready? Breaking news! This is a serious message with peace and love. I, last week, mentioned on a live stream that I did something cool on the Thursday of last week. And I didn't want to say what it was because I didn't want to jump to conclusions and say that I did this thing and then not get it. But I went for a job interview to be a support worker. And I found out on Wednesday that I got the job, which is incredible. I feel incredibly grateful and blessed that they believed in me enough. And yes, this is gonna be the start of my new career. So yeah, going from carpentry to doing support work. And you know, the great thing about this was I did mention on a live stream a couple of weeks ago that I would have had to have gone to TAFE to study and get my cert free in disability care, or have had 2 years experience in the industry. But this place just happened to, they were happy to give me like hire me, and then they would teach me and give me the experience I would need to then go out onto the field, which is awesome because I applied for so many places and everyone was just coming back saying like, I'm sorry, you need experience. So I was gonna have to study for a year and then go and try and find a job through that. But no, I went to this place. They're really, thank you for all the love in the chat. I am reading it now. Thank you so much. It's a lovely place. They're quite independent, which is what I care about. I'd rather work for a smaller company than a larger one. That's just how I work, and how I feel about things. But yeah, they've given me a chance, and it feels great. I still have some things I need to sort out. I need to get my first aid and get my NDIS check, and do a couple of, like, I think there are a couple of hours online, like a few like courses and stuff. Should take a couple of hours. But yeah, I should be starting in probably a couple weeks, which is, it's great, man. It really feels like, oh my, I mean, like geez, the last 2 years have just been so hard, and I've struggled so much, and and with the house move and building this place, and you know, I was in a relationship, and it went to shit, and it was just so hard, and I was just really struggling, and I think that, you know, I needed something like this, and yeah, I just went in the interview. I just tried to be myself, and you know, it turns out that they liked me enough to pick me, and yeah, they had a couple of clients that needed some, they needed some shifts covered, and they needed someone, and yeah, so yeah, feeling very lucky and very blessed. The best thing ever was just telling people. My family are just so happy for me. That's why I went live earlier today. Not only is it a public holiday, but also I'm celebrating with my parents tonight, and we're having a few pina coladas, which will be good. Everyone's just so happy for me. I told Dan last night, my best friend, and his fiance, and I told Aiden, and now I'm telling you guys, and yeah, just to look on my parents' face was just so great. It really, it kind of all just came together, which is fantastic. I mean, I spoke to a big company in Perth about me working for them, and he was like, look, you're really going to struggle to get a job. Like, he was nice about it, but he was just pretty blunt and to the point, and said, like, you're going to really, like, you might happen to fall into a place that won't be expecting experience, but I wouldn't recommend you banking on that. I would go study. So I was like, okay, I'll go do that. And enrollments were going to open on Tuesday, just this coming Tuesday, to apply for TAFE, and I was getting ready to do it, and then I got the email, and I got the job, so I won't have to do that, which is fantastic. Oh, Jeremy, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Oh, bless you. Let's read this. A good old super chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. It says, how the bring on me to celebrate, man. I know how crazy big life changes like this can be, and all the anxiety that comes with it, and to have it all work out, it's just nice to hear. Much love. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Thank you. You know, you guys are so supportive, and such a huge part of my life, and I hope you know I am going to have to obviously change my job, and it'll be a different work balance, but you know, YouTube's still continuing. I'm a big believer in just continuing to do your, because if I don't be creative and do YouTube videos, then, you know, it's like, what's the point? You know, I'm really excited to go in this line of work, but also I still want to be a creator, and I still want to make YouTube videos. I probably won't tell any of my employers or colleagues that I do YouTube. I might try and keep that separate. Not that I have anything to hide, but just because I kind of want to keep the two separate. But yeah, just so you know, I'm definitely going to still be putting in everything that I'm doing for YouTube. I really don't want that to ever become a thing where it's like, oh, you know, I'm working so much I can't do YouTube. Obviously life gets in the way and stuff, and I've learned to work around my current job right now, and it might take a little bit of, you know, time to feel a bit of a balance, but yeah, no, it's, yeah, I'm kind of going in circles with it now, but I just, yeah, I honestly just feel really lucky and blessed. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Thank you everyone for all the love, very sweet. I work for myself, best boss I've ever had. Yeah, signs of warrior, that's great. Yeah, it feels like something good's happened, which is, after like a lot of like nasty shit has happened, it just feels like sometimes you get thrown like a lifeline, and I want this to be the start of something big for me. So yeah. Anywho, okay, let's talk about the well. Well. Here we are. Right, so I also watched Midnight with my parents, as I was saying. So I watched Midnight, and I think they really liked it. You know, my dad. This is so strange to me. This doesn't make any sense to me, right? So we were like halfway through the episode or something, and my dad was like, he didn't. We went from okay. This is so okay. So we went from Lux, which is a Doctor Who episode that came out in 2025 on Disney Plus. And then I went on to a streaming service we have in Australia called Stan, which has Doctor Who series 1 to 3. Series 1 to 13. And I started playing that with David Tennant. And also the quality looks bad. I mean, you can only stream on SD on Doctor Who for streaming services. It's dumb. I think the only way you can get the 1080p version is if you get the Blu-rays, which I do have, but either way. We were watching it and Dad was like, so is this a new episode from the new series? And I was like, no, Dad, what are you talking about? I think because he saw David Tennant come back for the 60th, he thought that David Tennant just happens to pop up here and there and just do episodes. Like, no, this is from 2007? 2007 was series 4, 2007, 2008. I was like, what? It's just like, I don't know. For me, obviously, we know Doctor Who so well. For other people, you know, they'll just be scratching their head a little bit. This is why I mean my Doctor Who's confused. And obviously, my dad is a bit of a boomer. He's like 65. So he would be more of a boomer than most people. But, you know, it's like, what are you talking about, man? But yeah, it's still a classic. Midnight is fantastic. Benji says, only discovered this channel this week and absolutely love you guys already. You're cracking. Also, congrats on the job, dude. Thank you so much. Cheers, man. Thank you. Glad you're enjoying the content. Yeah, we've been really having fun doing it, and people seem to be really enjoying it as well, which is the main thing. You know, we do it because we love it, and yeah, people seem to be really loving it. And I'm actually really keen for tomorrow. I went into Lux super excited, and like the second it dropped at 3 o'clock at Perth time, I was like straight onto it. And yeah, I'm really keen to do it tomorrow for the well. We're back to Midnight, I guess. I'd be interested if that's the planet that they're going to in the episode. If they're back on Midnight again. It looks a little different. It kind of looks similar, but it kind of doesn't. I mean, I know the episode's set at night, so the sky looks a little bit different. I said on the podcast, my theory is that like the planet has been abandoned for years, and it's like they say it's a mining colony, so maybe they like years and years and years after the events of Midnight, and the planet's been just abandoned for years, they went there to go and mine and try and get the diamonds. I saw someone on Twitter be like, but there's a line in the episode where they said you can't even touch the diamonds, which is true. That is true. Well, that is true. But I'm sure we can get around that. Look, I can't lie. I'm actually super intrigued to see what Russell's cooking with this. I would like to think it's a good enough idea to be made and not just a sequel for sequel's sake. It is a big move and it's bold. It is RTD's biggest risk yet, as I titled this live stream. It is a big step, but I'm excited. I can't deny it. I did see, is it Doctor Who Production News, who has their ear to the ground, I think, with a few things, and it's like friends of people who work on the show, said that there's a scene that's going to be quite divisive in it, and I would assume that means that we do find out more about the entity or see it. But I've been saying this for ages, like, I would like the episode to leave more answers than questions. Sorry, I would like it to have more questions than answers. But how do you have it as a villain again and not give it more backstory? Whatever it is. It just, the idea of like seeing the entity would just be, I feel like no matter how great the design is, and Doctor Who's production design can be incredible, I am just a little bit concerned that like no matter how great it is, whatever is in our heads of what we think it looks like is just much scarier than what it actually will look like if we do see it. I always like pictured the Midnight entity as like almost like a shadow man almost. There's that line that Aiden brought up the other day on the podcast about how like the driver says that it was running towards the capsule that they were in. So it's like, yeah, I guess it does have the body of like a human. I don't know. I think it's definitely going to be interesting. Jeremy says, I low-key think Shooty needs an episode like this. My wife says this era has been a little too goofy and kid-friendly. Sometimes we need a midnight or a turn left that caters to the adult watchers. Yeah, so, oh, the entity could use David Tennant's voice. That's cool. That would be awesome, actually. Slender Man, yeah, kind of similar to like Slender Man almost, like a bit of a shadow man. Now, Jeremy, that's a great point that your wife said. I agree. I think Doctor Who can just be a bit too kiddie for my liking these days. Granted, I am 26 now. I think, yeah, so I started watching the show when I was 20 years ago. So, you know, granted, I have grown up. But I think that's why I love episodes like 73 Hours, because it really is just like the dark and gritty of what Doctor Who can get like sometimes. And Russell has pitched this episode as being like very spooky. And I look, honestly, I say go for it. I say full steam ahead. I just hope it isn't like half baked where it's like, oh, it was a little bit scary, but you know, the tension dropped. I feel like the tension could probably drop when and if we see the entity and hear it talk. With Tennant's voice, so that would be amazing. If it uses Tennant's voice, that would be amazing. I think that's actually a really cool idea. Well, I was saying last week with all the animation sequences that, well, we only got one in Lux, but, you know, we were discussing it and stuff, and I was like, I wondered if we were going to see, like, drawings of all the old Doctors, and maybe we could have had David reprise his role with the voice, because it would be cheaper just to use his voice. But this works here as well. Like, we could just use the voice of David. Wow, that would be awesome. I like that. I fuck with that. I just hope they go full steam ahead. Like, so what if the kiddies get a little bit scared? I think Lux was definitely like spooky. I love that spooky like theater vibe. And when he goes 3D, like shit looks scary. Almost looks like Pennywise and stuff. I saw people saying like Pennywise when Pennywise gets all big and stuff. Yeah, just go for it. Doctor Who was always supposed to, like, you know, everyone like, you know, Moffat and Russell always talk about, like, you know, the hiding behind the sofa, and that's how it all started for us. And, you know, when we would watch Doctor Who when we were kids, like, you know, Doctor Who did used to terrify me. I would have nightmares about, dude, I would have nightmares about Jamie from Empty Child till I was, like, 13 or something. Like, I was petrified. And not only that, I mean, I would also get scared of Cybermen. I wasn't like Weeping Angels, they were scary, but Weeping Angels never really got me as much as other people. But stuff like The Silence and, you know, there were episodes of Doctor Who that definitely freaked me out. The Reapers from Father's Day also really spooked me. I was worried I was going to be walking down the street and get like devoured by one of them. So, you know, Doctor Who should always be like challenging its audience, even its kids' audience. It does seem like with this series we're getting all different walks of life with episodes. You know, we have a robot episode at the beginning. We have Lux, which is kind of spooky but kind of fun. This can be scary. Next week it's the Ruby episode, and then we have Story in the Engine, which is going to be very. I think it's in West Africa, and then Interstellar Song Contest looks kind of fun, but you know, could get serious, and then whatever the final is, it seems like they're kind of trying to like tick every box. And by the way, I'm still under the belief that we could still be getting a series 3 if this series continues to keep up its streak. Because again, I didn't love Robot Revolution, but a lot of people did, and that's great in my books. That means look, more people liked it than disliked it, I would say. So right now they're 2 for 2, and Disney they're listening. They're like, maybe we should renew it. Or this bonkers idea that it's all just a plan and a ploy from Russell to, you know, have the show be cancelled in the TV show and actually get the fans to go through what the Doctor's going through, because the Doctor Who's going to get cancelled and we're watching it at home. It's like, no, we don't want Doctor Who to get cancelled. That would be insane. Like, if that was planned, because I have been thinking about this. Obviously, when that Disney deal started, the first thing all the haters said was like, it's never gonna like work, and it's never gonna get renewed for a third series. It was always like the question on people's lips was like, will we get another series with Disney? And it's almost like Russell knew that, maybe. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Like, Russell is a smart writer, but I've seen some dog shit Russell scripts. So, but he does have his like, he is kind of involved in the community quite well. I think he knows the conversations that are being said. So, if it all comes down to just, Doctor Who, the TV show, is going to be cancelled and it's part of the plot. Look, I ain't saying this is what I wanted to happen as like a plot line, but it makes me feel. I got so excited at the end of Lux when Mrs. Flood said that the show is ending. It's like a limited run, because I'm like, oh my god, like it made me realize how much I just don't want the show to get cancelled. I want Doctor Who to be airing, no matter how bad it is. I still want it to be airing. So that gave me hope. Where I'm like, was this all just an elaborate plan? And the fan scenes as well. It's like, was this all just Russell's plan from the beginning? I don't know. And all that weird stuff he was saying about the Doctor being like Robin Hood and Shooty and Verada like dodging questions about coming back for a series 3. If that was all just planned, then that would be special. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's genius or insane, or if I should laugh or I should cry if that's the plot, but who knows, honestly. Jeremy says, if it's the same entity, it could have assimilated all the voices it took in Midnight. Absolutely. Bring back DT, our boy. Benji says, what if instead of using David's voice, the entity uses his words and says something like Alan C or Mota Bene, yeah, and that's how 15 realizes what it is. That could be true as well. If it's not set on Midnight, the planet, I wonder what the scene is going to be when the Doctor puts 1 and 2 together, with it being that entity from Midnight, because that would have been like a gazillion years ago in the Doctor's life. So what makes him realize that it is that? Adam says, Image if it had the Tennant's long arms from Wild Blue Yonder. I did hear someone say, what if the entity from Midnight is the Not Things from Wild Blue Yonder? And I kind of fuck with that. I like that. I kind of think that's interesting. And also, another thing, there's been no reviews this week. There's been nothing. Which kind of bugs me, because it's like, well, if they're trying to keep the can on the worms of it being a Midnight sequel, that ship sailed a long time ago. I mean, I heard rumors about it being a Midnight sequel way before Series 2 was even airing. So, I wonder, like, what's so top secret about this damn episode? What's so goddamn secretive about it? I would have loved to have read a few reviews. I checked this morning, there was nothing, so I doubt they'll do any now. It's a shame. I don't know. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's a big secret. I said that last week and there wasn't, which is fine, because it did just turn out to be a really good episode, which is what I was saying. Like, maybe it was just going to be a really good episode and nothing massive happens. But for this episode, we're having no reviews out. Sometimes companies do that to keep the negative press out. Maybe. But from what I have heard, I did hear from Doctor Who Production News that the episode has been very well received from inside the BBC. So there's that. Let me read some of these comments. Let me catch up. I'm doing a bad job at keeping up. Lux is blowing up on TikTok, so even though it had a low day one viewings, I bet it has legs and more people will watch it over the next few weeks. I have been seeing that. Like I said at the beginning, I don't use TikTok, but I know people have been saying that it's been trending, which is cool. I wonder how many people have seen it that don't watch Doctor Who. I wonder if, like, my sister's addicted to TikTok, so I wonder if she's seen anything about Mr. Ringadine. The Mr. Ring thing is kind of iconic, so I could see why. I'm not surprised that it's trending on TikTok, and I'm sure Russell's very proud of himself for that. Russell T Davies, who replied to my comment on Instagram this week, by the way. Thank you, Russell. You're my insider. What is caramel water, Russell? That is funny. That I give Russell some credit. It is nice that you can just reach out to the head showrunner and ask questions, and he can get back to you. Benji says, by the way, thanks to Doctor Who magazine, we do now know that Mrs. Flood's true identity will be revealed before the final. I wonder where she'll pop up this week in the well. Will we see her? Or yeah, isn't it kind of isn't it predicted that she'll reveal who she is in the Interstellar Song Contest, which might explain why Russell has a co-writing credit on it. I'm pretty sure I saw that. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I saw, like I was saying before, that Russell has a co-writing credit with Juno Dawson for Interstellar Song Contest. As for where she'll show up in the well, I don't know. That is an interesting question. She might just show up on a computer screen, something similar to like Susan Triad in Boom. Jeremy says Russell's old twists were returning characters. Now his new twist is returning TV shows. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's so bizarre if that is the actual plot. But hey, it's got people talking. I've been enjoying series 2 so far. I know there's only 2 episodes. Royal Revolution didn't really necessarily work for me, but it's far from the worst episode of like TV I've ever seen. And I think there was some steps for improvement, particularly Belinda. Even my mum said the other night, she doesn't know Ruby's name and stuff, but she was like, I prefer this new companion to the other girl. And I think that's because you're just given more to work with Belinda. She just has more of a character. Ruby Sunday's character could like blow over with a gust of wind. She's got her character just kind of like sucks. So hopefully we can get some. I mean, 73 yards at peak. So hopefully we can get something in Lucky Day that gets the old Ruby heads going. None of that at all is Millie Gibson's fault. I think she's fantastic. It was just, I think Russell made like a really paper thin character, unfortunately. Benji says the no review things does really scream to me that it's trying to avoid spoilers something more than likely that it's the Midnight sequel. Yeah, but we already know that. I don't know. It's like what? So next week are we just gonna go back to them reviewing episodes again with Lucky Day? I don't know. Doug says pretty sinister. Could RTD be that devious to deliberately kill Doctor Who? I have a theory that he might actually kill the Doctor in the final. Well, hot dog, Doug. That is crazy. How are you, Doug? Good to see you. I did tune in to your live stream last week, which was pre-filmed, but it was premiering live. I did pop my head in. I like to try and support my friends and stuff. You'll always see me in the Madman with a Box podcast comment section writing jokes. And sometimes they get read and sometimes they don't, but that's fine. Benji says the next Doctor Who magazine comes out between episodes 6 and 7 and we'll discuss her identity and the descriptions for TISC. Details mention something happens with her in the audience. As much as I don't... so TISC, that's the final, I would assume. Her description for the Interstellar Song Contest. Details mention something happens with her in the audience. Right, yeah, I would assume that we'll find out, before the final. By the way, fingers fucking crossed that final works, because we need a great final again. Please. Please. It's been a while since we've had like a really great final of Doctor Who. Even though Flux was fun, I wouldn't count that. Certainly not Series 12 with Timeless Child. Definitely not Series 11. Series 10 was probably the last great final we've had. And even the Doctor Falls has some problems with it, but World Enough in Time is such a cracking start. And it's still a really good episode. It just kind of falls apart, I think, in its like last half. Benji says, as much as I don't dislike Ruby, I think making her and the Doctor besties from day one was a mistake. It really helped the Doctor and Belinda's relationship that she isn't automatically on board. Yeah, Benji, you're speaking my language, man. I completely agree. I think I could see what Russell was going for, like in like pitching meetings for like Disney Plus, being like the Doctor and Ruby are going to be best friends, you know, and it's like yeah, and like and people will think they're like slaying and stuff, you know. It was like it worked on paper, but like the scripts just didn't give them anything to work with at all. They have a little disagreement in Boom when the Doctor's like, I forbid this, and then that's kind of it, you know. Um, Benji says that the final is better than Empire of Death. I think it would be very hard to be as bad as Empire of Death, but I don't want to say anything because that might happen. Who knows? Ha! Jeremy says, do you think that the season ends on a regeneration? It will be an open-ended regeneration, or will it be a new Doctor to entice fans and new Doctor to entice fans? The second I put my iPad over there, I have to like read from a distance. I was just holding it, so fuck it, I'll grab it again. Let me reread that for you, Jeremy, please. I'll give you some respect. Jeremy says, do you think if the season ends on a regeneration, it'll be an open-ended regeneration, or there'll be a new Doctor to entice fans and incentivize other production companies to pick it up? I think there's a good, unless this whole elaborate plot was planned from the beginning with Ncuti Gatwa and Russell T Davies to trick the fans into thinking that Doctor Who's going to be cancelled and Ncuti's jumping ship. I unfortunately don't think that's happening. I think it could be an open-ended regeneration, or maybe we get a new Doctor by the end of the series. That would suck because I just don't know. As much as I think Locke was really great, I just don't know what Ncuti's Doctor is really all about, to be completely frank. Hey, Mr. Scar, how you doing? Boomer Dog says, good mate, glad to see you, checked it out. Always an open invite to appear. I've been called in sick tonight, got bloody man flu. Bloody flu bug. Shit. Yeah, there's a lot going around at the moment. I feel like I had a headache for like 2 weeks. It just would not go away, and it was disastrous. Yeah, no, I'll pop in at some point. I'm sorry. I know I've been saying. I'm gonna turn my fan on actually. I know I've been saying for ages that I would do it and haven't. There's no reason behind that other than just time and schedules and shit. To be honest, I struggled to plan these damn live streams, to be completely frank. Only 15 minutes late today though. 15 minutes late was not too bad. I normally have to push it back like an hour or 30 minutes normally. This was only 15 minutes, so. Sophia says, I went away for a few minutes, hope I didn't miss too much. Did I miss the thing you were excited about? That was just about me. I got a job. I went for an interview last week and I got a job in support work. So hell yeah, that's kind of what you missed, I think. Where are we? Adam says, I think it ends with an open regeneration. Could do. I mean, that's what was going to happen with, thanks Sophia. That's what was going to happen with Jodie. So, you know, it's like, we're just repeating it. We're just, the definition of insanity is just to repeat itself, and that's what's happening with Doctor Who. Are you looking forward to the war between the land and the sea? I mean, yes and no. I'll be more excited about it if it's not the last thing we get from Doctor Who for the indefinite future. It would be really weird to see if we haven't got a series 3 confirmed, but we're getting War Between the Land and the Sea, and it's the last thing we get with Disney Plus. That would just be disastrous. So I'm keen for it. 5 episodes. I think it could be a really good tight show, and I kind of want a political thriller, kind of what Chibnall was going for with the Silurian 2-parter in series 5. What's it, Hungry Earth and Cold Blood, where, you know, those scenes where humans are discussing with the Silurians how to like live together. I think that could be very interesting. With Pete McTighe being a co-writer on it, I'm a little bit concerned. We'll have to see how he does with Lucky Day next week. I think Pete can do some good stuff. It's just his writing doesn't really speak to me that much. Kablam, I think the first 2 acts of Kablam are really fun, and then the third act just falls on its face. And Praxius is just so boring and dull, and there's influences in it like vlogging, and it's just so cringe. It's not how YouTubers act at all. But yeah, I can't, you know, I can't say I'm like unexcited for it. I definitely am interested to see how they handle it. Doug says, I generally don't think a new Doctor will be cast, at least not for a while. Most likely a fade to black. Unfortunately, that might be the case. We'll see how this series goes. This could all be Russell in our heads, making us think that. It might all be fine. With the new Doctor appearing War Between the Land and the Sea, that's the weird thing. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, they filmed it after series 2, so was Shooty gonna make a cameo in War Between the Land and the Sea? I could see them with his contract. The smart thing they should have done was when they signed Shooty on for series 1 and 2, they would put it in his contract that he has to make an appearance in War Between the Land and the Sea. I could have seen that happening, but now if he is regenerating, that would just, will they cut his scene out? Could they even do that? That's if he's even in it. I don't even know if he's in it, but it'd be like when the Doctor briefly showed up in Class episode 1, you know. Benji says, and do you think we'll get a trailer for War Between the Land and the Sea at the end of series 2? Russell said they showed a trailer for it at the premiere, but obviously we haven't got one publicly. Yeah, I did hear about that. I'm not sure. Apparently it's coming out soon, the trailer. It's just weird though, so it's like, does that mean we're going to be getting it at the end of this year, maybe in October? And then that's it? Or do they want to like leave it till next year? I don't recommend leaving it till next year, but I could see them kind of doing it. Yeah, thanks for the love on the job, guys. Thank you so much. That's really sweet of you. Sophia says, alright, I am very biased in this statement, and I probably asked you this before, but do you expect Susan or another Time Lord to appear this season? I would think so. I mean, I really would have thought that she would have returned at the end of Series 1 final. It was all set up. I'm sure there is a payoff coming, but I'm not sure when or where. But I'm sure there'll be some sort of payoff. I think so. I don't see you know, like Caroline Ford, like just bring her back. Why not? Just do it. It's like, I don't know when they're planning on doing it. I feel like they should have done it sooner. But yeah, I could definitely see it. I mean, the Doctor speaks about being told about Belinda by another Time Lord, or at least it's alluded to that that's what's happened. Yeah, I could see it. I hope so. It just would be awesome. Like, it just would be a nice thing for the fans, you know. Russell's not been very he doesn't really like to give us fan service these days, apparently. Benji says, if it honestly wouldn't surprise me if Russell was trying to do a political thriller similar to Children of Earth with how popular that is. I agree. I think that's probably what we're going to get, which is what I'm hoping for. If it's a spin-off, then I don't mind them doing like something like that. Benji also says, just with Sea Devils and Unit instead. Yeah, well, there's a character returning from Children of Earth who like worked for Unit in that series, so there's that. Mr. Scarlet says, how are you today? I'm doing good. I'm a bit tired. I didn't get in last night till like 3 a.m. or something. Just having beers with Dan, so yeah, that was good fun. I'm doing okay. And how are you guys all doing? How are you all doing out there? Happy Friday. Sophia says, also, have you seen the leaked music from the Reality War? Yeah, didn't Murray like release some music on like BBC 3 or something, BBC Sounds or something like that. I did listen to it for a second. I did, yeah. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I was just like, oh, I'll just hear it when it comes out in the episode. Benji says, I think the War Between the Land and the Sea will be released this year for sure. Would certainly be interesting if there was a Doctor cameo or something, maybe a Ruby or Belinda cameo. Well, yeah, it's like, where's Ruby in War Between the Land and the Sea? Is she just like not working for Unit anymore? They love to just get rid of unit characters and not explain where they go. Where's Osgood? She's just gone. No explanation, just gone. Was good friends with Kate, and Kate just tossed her out and said, "Get out of here! Get out!" Well, not leaked, actually. It's publicly put out there. Oops. Worded that wrong. Yeah, he did release it. Yeah, I think it was on some like BBC radio channel. I'm doing well. Going to be dodging spoilers tomorrow though, as I've got work in the morning, so me and my boyfriend won't be watching till later on. Yeah, I feel for you. I mean, I just kind of enjoy watching it the second it comes out, and then I can then enjoy like going on Twitter and stuff and hearing people's theories and thoughts, and you know, I like doing that. But I am just kind of waiting for a Saturday to come around where I'm not going to be able to do that. But I'm single. I don't normally go out on Saturday nights till later anyway, so I don't really have massive amounts of things happening in my life. So like I'm normally free at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, and I don't work weekends, so at the moment at least, I might start working a few weekends now on my new job, but who knows. Jeremy says, RTD, best I can give you is Rose Noble cameo. Oh god, Rose Noble. What a shit character. God, Russell really loves giving us like Ruby's crap, and the Doctor has like no personality really. I mean, the Doctor's just fun and charismatic and, you know, handsome and strapping and loves to look dapper, but also is very emotional and likes to cry. I don't know. Is that enough character for us all? Going good. Can't wait to watch the Crows play tonight. Yeah, Adam told me yesterday. I wouldn't have known this unless Adam told me, but the Crows are playing in Western Australia today. I think that I don't know who they're versing. They're either versing Freo or the Eagles, and I have no idea. I don't follow that stuff. I follow the cricket, and that's it. But I hope you enjoy the Crows game. Whoever they're versing, they're probably versing Freo. Benji says it's kind of weird. Osgood has just seemingly disappeared. Her and Kate were so close, and now we've got Shirley and that kid Morris instead. Yeah, Shirley and Morris as well are just kind of. I don't think Morris will ever return either. Yeah, Russell does love giving us just like very like 2D characters at the moment. Will you appear on Who's There for their reviews of this series? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I remember last year they asked in advance. I did see they had that creator on. I don't know who the creator was, but they had someone on. I don't know. I don't think so. Always keen to pop back on the show with them. I always get told before to not swear, and I get in trouble if I do because they have to like Troy has to like censor it out. But I was so good last time. I didn't swear one time. I don't swear that much, do I? Come on. It's the 50% footy cup with Aiden. Right, so Aiden's team is versus Adam's team at Optus Stadium tonight. Goodness me. Jeremy says, I shouldn't dunk on Rose so hard, but if you told me we'd be getting the first child of a companion, especially Donna, turned out to be so boring and bland, I'd called you crazy. Yeah, I remember you made that comment a couple of months ago, and it's so true. You know, I think, yeah, sometimes Russell just like casts people and it's like, oh, that's enough. You know, that's enough. They don't really have to have a character. It's like, oh, people really love Yasmin Finney, so that's enough of character. It's like, oh, people love Shooty Gatwa, so that's enough of character. You know, it's like they just love that person, so that's enough. And that's not how TV works, Russell. Come on. I need something to sink my teeth into. I need to be clutching my blue box and being like, yes, this is why I love this show. And I kind of had that with Lux. I was kind of like, I was grabbing my TARDIS and going like, yeah, come on. Doctor Who is back, baby. We are so back. You can see, hang on. Oh shit, the door fell off. Yeah, my nephew kept playing with this and like the door keeps coming off now. So thanks for that, George. You can see Rose and Knife Doctor in there. Good old Ek. We love you, Ek. Alright. Ah, la 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 la. Benji, who is excited for the long-awaited return of the Blinks next week? And lucky day for context, this is a joke. Yep, the Blinks is back, voiced by Nick Briggs. Nick Briggs he loves a good paycheck from BBC. He's voiced robots, and now the Blink. Two robots now. Two robots. Mr. Scarlo, do you think Lucky Day could be on par or better than 73 yards? No. I think that episode is just so unique. I don't think there's anything really like 73 yards. There's nothing really like Lux either. I think it could be really good though. We could be having a really good time of it. I'm not gonna say that it can't be great, but I just don't think that it's like going into the well tomorrow and being like, oh, it's gonna be better than Midnight. It's like, no, it's not. And I think it would just be a bad idea to go with that mindset. So I wouldn't go into Lucky Day next week thinking it's going to be the next 73 yards. But I'm very keen to enjoy it. Sophia, yes, my favorite Doctor Who character, Shooty Gatwa the Doctor. Never heard of him. Exactly. Benji says, could you imagine if they got all the Pantheon back for Shooty's final episodes? It would be the most expensive episode just on cast alone. I hope that happens. That could be really cool. I mean, I saw Neil Patrick Harris is doing that like shitty ass like Dexter reboot, like the third Dexter reboot. So it's like, if he's doing stuff like that, why can't he just come back and film Doctor Who for a couple weeks? When do you When do we get a Blinks origin story? Big Finish? Yeah, everyone's so worried about the Blinks. Remember the Blinks died for like 2 seconds in Empire of Death? The Blinks is alright. I know the Blinks get so much hate. I think they're fine. The Blinks is fine. They can live happily and free in my books. What would your ideal spin-off be? I want an adult show again. I want something like Torchwood. That's what I want. I hope War Between Land and Sea is more mature. Like, maybe as mature as Class was. Class didn't go full Torchwood, but it definitely had, like, blood and sex and swear words. Actually, I don't think they even swore much in Class, did they? I think they said shit a few times, but I don't think they ever dropped, like, an F-bomb. Or I could be wrong. Maybe. I just want an adult spin-off. Alright, so we've been going for an hour now, so I'll probably stay for another 15 minutes. Apologies, I know I said last week I'd be staying for longer this week, but, you know, again, I got a job, so, so yeah, 15 minutes. We'll do the 50% bit at the end if you want to ask questions outside Doctor Who, fire away. If you want to keep talking about Doctor Who, fire away. It is in your hands. We'll go for another 15 minutes. We'll do an hour and 15-minute live stream, so... Fire away, fire away. Can't wait to see the Blinks kill Ruby's evil boyfriend Conrad with hammers. Peak scene. Yeah, Conrad. Good to meet him next week. Apparently he's got a big arc this series, so I guess we'll see. I'd like a spin-off of Gallifrey during the Time War. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be great. That'd be really good. So I know I'm taking a lot of drink breaks. It's just damn sparkling water. It's just too damn good. How are you going with Sopranos at the moment, Adam? I know you said that you started it. I don't know if you kept watching it. But I'm doing my Sopranos rewatch at the moment. I'm just about to finish series 4. So, series 5 coming my way tonight. 8th Doctor Time War miniseries would be peak. Yeah, I feel like that, unfortunately, I think that ship has sailed, but that would be awesome. Lemonade or Coke? I like caramel water, as Russell calls it. I am a sucker for some Coca-Cola. I love Coca-Cola, like full fat Coke as well. It's so bad for you, but there is something. There's something just so clenching about it. I love a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke. Gorgeous. Just, it's probably one of my favorite sodies. I love that. I love Dr. Pepper. Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke. Cherry Dr. Pepper. Just, there's nothing like doing like a good like cooking a good meal and then like cracking like a cold one of like Dr. Pepper cherry. Goated. Ah, it's Jacob in the chat. How you going? What's going on? Benji says, odd question, but do you think we'll ever see Rassilon again properly, or maybe even Tectean? Didn't Rassilon like fly off at the end of, at the beginning of Hellbent? Possibly. That could happen. Or even Tectean. I think Tectean's kind of gone. I mean, she's dead, but also I think she's just gone. I don't think we're going to be seeing her again. I've been chewing nicotine gum. Well, it's been on my lip. And no one ever, I do it on the podcast every week, and no one knows. I'm very proud of myself. I don't want to be chewing on the mic, obviously, so I just slip it up there. Nicotine gum is the GOAT. I should be a salesman for nicotine gum. Forget my new job. Jacob says 15th Doctor's era is already better than 13 and 14's era. Agree. 14 is in the 60th specials. I would agree with 13 because I don't like that era. It never resonated with me. Despite the flaws of RTD2, it's certainly better and more my kind of Doctor Who. That is for sure. As for 14, do you mean the 60th specials? I would say they're better than the 60th specials. Sure. Adam says, I've watched 2 episodes. I discovered Succession and I've been watching that. Yeah, I've seen Succession. That's great. All the HBO shows you normally got a safe bet of HBO. Benji says, I've loved being here for the live stream. You seem so nice and chill, and I'll definitely be sticking around for future content. Look forward to your opinions on the well. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. That's so sweet. Yeah, I've been really enjoying doing the live streams as well. They are quite stressful. Obviously, life gets in the way sometimes. But I've been enjoying doing them as well. They can be quite scary though, because I have to constantly talk and like read chats and still be like chill on the stream, and it's a lot of plates spinning at once. I would recommend doing live streams, but also they're quite spooky because a lot goes on at once. It's just a lot happens. But thank you, that's very sweet. Thank you, Benji. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. James says, in case it gets revealed in the well, what do you think the Midnight Entity is solely based... what? Sorry, I read that wrong. In case it gets revealed in the well, what do you think the Midnight Entity is solely based on Midnight? Oh, like, do you think it's just only on Midnight, the planet? I would like that. I would like a native species to a planet that's never explored anywhere else, almost like the Flood was always a native of Mars and never escaped Mars. I read the Target novel for Wars of Mars, and it does kind of discuss how the Flood like started on Mars and their backstory and stuff. It's actually really cool. It's written by Phil Ford, who co-wrote the episode with Russell. Mr. Sky, favorite and least favorite episodes of Torchwood. Favorite episode of Torchwood, Children of Earth is awesome. But I would go with Countryside. Countryside, written by Chris Chibnall. I think it's episode 5 of series 1, 5 or 6. I think it's 5. That's such a great episode. The worst episode of Torchwood? I don't know. Torchwood. Torchwood. Let me get IMDb up on Torchwood. That's a good question. Oh, worst episode of Torchwood? No, that'll be Miracle Day. That shit stinks. It sucks. Who likes that crap? That's the last series of Torchwood we have to review for the podcast. Maybe we'll get there this year. I'm keen to rewatch Miracle Day, but I watched it one time and it lost that Torchwood. It lost that shine that it used to have. I mean, most of the main cast is gone now because they died. But yeah. Benji says, really need to get around the Wars of Mars novelization. Only read a few, love the Rose one. Yeah, I read the Rose one and the Wars of Mars one. Yeah, the Wars of Mars one's really great. It's really, really good. Benji says, we're also getting a Will in Space novelization with next month's Doctor Who magazine. Yeah, I'm glad people are still buying Doctor Who magazine. It shows that people still love Doctor Who and stuff. I I have my copy of Doctor Who magazine downstairs. Actually, the one that we were in. But that's the first time I bought a Doctor Who magazine in like years and years. Mr. Sky said, read the Wars of Mars novelization not too long ago. I dare to say better than the episode. Holy moly, yeah, that is a big call. That's a big call indeed. Yeah. Yeah, baby, yeah. Alright. Let's maybe wrap things up. I'll go for a couple more minutes. If you guys have any last minute fired questions, now is the time. You know I like to ask, I say last questions and then I say it like 3 more times. Also read the Giggle novelization this week, fantastic book, also better than the episode. Now that might be true. The Dark novelization is also fantastic, really fleshes out the characters. Yeah, I've been meaning to read that. I think Aiden read that. It's cool when they get the writers to come back to do them because you know it's like who else would know better how to write the episode than the writer itself. Like that is really cool. Ready for this? Let's do it again. Ready? Pwah! I make it look like I just throw shit all over my room and don't pick it up. I can assure you I will pick that up when I finish the live stream. In fact, I actually cleaned my room just before I went on a live stream because when I look around and I see a tidy room, it makes me feel more prepared for the live stream. Don't ask me how that works, it just does. Did your beers come, Jacob? Your single fin? I would like to know that. Have you seen we're getting 2 Big Finish novelizations this year, Jubilee and The Chimes of Midnight? I didn't know that, but I know both of those stories actually. Favorite Doctor Who novelization? Well, I've only read 2, so I go with Wars of Mars. What are the essential things to see or do when visiting Australia? Oh, they're still on their way to me for that beer that Jacob ordered like 2 weeks ago. Let me know when you get them. Send me, if you want to, send me a picture on Instagram. I'd really love to see them. You get your caramel koalas as well. Things to see while visiting Australia, like, oh God. I mean, Sydney Opera House. There's a few big bridges. I only really know for Perth. For WA, there's Rottnest Island where the quokkas are. They're like a native species to that island only. What else can you do in Perth? There's a bell tower. I love Perth. I am a bit of a Perth simp, but I understand why people probably think it's kind of boring. Yeah, the Wolves Balls, as Adam says. Yeah, I saw them when I went to Adelaide. Perth is just WA. It's a very family centric. Is that a word? Family centric state. It's where you like raise a family and stuff. Even the area that I've just moved into, it's so family centric. Like you walk down the street, there's couples walking dogs, kids. There's tons of parks. It's a very sweet area. It's a great place to raise a family. Australia is a beautiful place to visit though as well. And there's a place in because Western Australia is massive. It takes up like nearly half of Australia. And there's a place called Exmouth, which is about 15 hours that way. And yeah, it's the most crystal clear oceans you'll ever see in your life. James says, sorry, what I meant before was, what do you think the Midnight Entity is? I thought it was worth asking now since potentially the question will be answered tomorrow in the well. Yeah, good point. I have no idea. I just think it's something super evil that likes to... I like creatures that were born just evil. Like the Flood was born evil. And I love that kind of thing. I don't know. I kind of hope we don't find out. Because I feel like whatever the answer is, it can't be as interesting as what we would think. Benji says, a few years back, I got my hands on a few old Target novelizations for very cheap. That was when I was a kid. Adult me is very happy with that decision. Yeah, that's great. I know Aiden found a few in a few like secondhand bookstores and stuff. Mr. Scholar, rewatched Midnight last night, still a banger, my favorite episode, solid 10 out of 10. Yeah, I watched it on Wednesday night with my parents, and it still is great. It really is just a great piece of TV. And the fact that Russell wrote it in like, what was it, 2 weeks? It just shows what a incredible writer that he is. All right, last minute fire rapid questions, and then I'm leaving. I've got 5 minutes left, and then I will see you next week. You'll see me on Sunday when I'm reviewing the well. But yeah, if you have any last minute questions, just chuck them. I'll answer them. If you need dating advice, you can ask me. I don't know why I always say that. It's just like it's. Someone did ask once. Someone wrote into the show and asked me to give them dating advice, and I was like, I don't know. I don't date much as it is. It's hard being when you're mid-20s, particularly in these days. I think being single is just hard. I don't meet people. I go on a few dating apps, but that's it. I don't run into anybody. If the midnight entity is a related to a pre-existing villain, I will scream. I have this horrible feeling that we're gonna see a tie into a villain that's already well known. It might be the not things from Wild Beyonder, but you never know. Last minute questions count too. Yeah, I always say it a couple of times. Not gonna lie, I can see Russell linking the creatures in Midnight Wild Beyonder in tomorrow's episode. Yeah, the not things could be linked. And I'm not too mad at that. I think that might be okay. He's going to make it boring and turn the Midnight Entity into a god of the Pantheon. It's so obvious at this point. I mean, I hope not. I really hope not. No one seems to be really enjoying that god Pantheon storyline. I feel bad for Russell, but it seems like that storyline just was a bit of a miss, unfortunately. Mr. Sky, have you seen The Good Place? If not, I highly recommend it. No, I try to watch. I watched the pilot like years ago and just never got into it, unfortunately. At the moment, I'm just watching Doctor Who Weekly, Sopranos. I'm rewatching, and I'm watching The Last of Us. Oh, and the Rehearsal series 2 started on Monday. Where was that question you asked before, Mr. Sky? Here you go. Snog, marry, avoid. Skylar White, Marie Schrader, Kim Wexler. I'm 90% sure you've already asked me this like a couple of months ago, but I'll answer it again. I would avoid Skylar White. Sorry, Skylar. I would snog Kim Wexler, and I would marry Marie Schrader. I have a soft spot for Marie. She's a good girl. Okay? When she goes to therapy, she's a good lass. I saw a theory back when it aired that the not things were connected to Midnight, and now we're getting a Midnight sequel. Coincidence? I think not. Yeah. Oh, God. He just does his own thing, doesn't he, that Russell T Davies? I'm excited. I'll be there. What time is it now? It's 4:30, so it's less than 24 hours away. Yeah, I'm keen. I can't say that I'm not keen. I am keen. They're rocks. They're not minerals, Marie. Yeah, she's just a good lass, okay? Hank's too hard on her sometimes, okay? If she makes the Midnight Entity the god of fear or something, please don't do it, I'm begging. Maybe. You never know. You never know. Well, thank you, everybody. My name is Connor. You know that. You already knew that. You know how it goes. Thank you for tuning in. I know it was a bit early this week. I know we're not going as longer. Oh, it's Daniel Aid. Well. Dan, you got me just as I was about to leave. Oh my God. Alright. I'm sorry it was a bit shorter again this week. It's just what life is at the moment. Well. Been a great time to spend you. Thank you. It's been great spending all this time with you. Thank you, everybody. Be sure to do all the things you normally do. I don't know. We'll be back on Sunday to review the Well with Aidan Green, everyone's favourite. And then we'll be back on Tuesday to do the Q&A, or is it Monday? I don't know. I don't know when the episodes come out. And then we'll do the predictions for Lucky Day, and I'll be back doing a live stream, and then we'll be back doing the reviews. It's just a cycle. It just keeps going. It's like poetry. It rhymes. All right, have a great weekend. Cheers, Adam. Yeah, you too. I hope the Crows win. Even though it's my city playing, I guess, against the Crows, so I probably should take their side, but I don't really care. Sorry, I'll say it. Let's go the Crows. I'll say it. You can clip that, Adam. You can clip that. Woohoo! Can't wait. Review of the whale. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Much love. You've been the best as always. Thank you for making my dream come true. I love you all. Thank you. Adios. Hope the well doesn't tarnish midnight. Yeah, with it being your favorite episode, Mr. Scarlet, I feel very scared for you. I still love it. It's not my favorite episode, but I still love it and regard it as an absolute classic. So let's hope. All right, go the Crows. All right, thank you guys. You're the best as always. All right, I'll see you soon. I will see you soon. Don't get sad. Don't get sad. I'll be back. I'll be back. And congrats on the job again. See ya. Thank you. Thank you so much. Cheers, guys. Much love. All right. Till next time. Bye.